Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Good morning, everybody. It's February 2nd, Monday. And I'm trying to get my chart loaded up in the stream, and it is not cooperating. I may have to close it and reopen. I have not looked at news today. Red folders, orange folders, haven't looked yet. I'll do that in a second. Window capture. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. The Leap by Eurex has just started. Join this risk-free competition and earn real prizes. I've done a few of these leaps. And those of you who've been listening to old videos on my YouTube know this, but regularly finish in the top 10% in the competition, which is pretty cool in my book, anyways. You know, and that's usually versus, I guess, around 60,000 people compete in each competition. So getting better, top 10%. Very hopeful, you know, that I can turn this into an income stream someday, not just for fun. Let me check news real quick, and that's off camera, but I'll tell you what I see. 3, 4x. Today, okay, so we had ISM manufacturing PMI. That was 10 a.m., so an hour ago. So nothing else for the rest of the day. Hopefully we don't get surprised by a Trump tweet or announcement. Otherwise, I think it'd be clear sailing. Oh, by the way, the groundhog, Puxatawny Phil, just saw his shadow, so it's more winter if you believe in that kind of stuff. Hourly chart, NQ. Came back up, revisited this bearish fair value gap, and might be rolling over. Let's see what we would end up with here. Targets 25, 446, 546. If we got to retrace, of course, hourly, that's a long time and a long way. So something to think about. 15-minute, I like these double wicks right here. A minute, not much happening. Looks pretty solid. Our bounce haven't hit it yet, but could also see something like this. Why am I not turned on to instant? One click. There we go. Rid of that. I'm setting this buy up down here just in case we get a quick wick. Daily goal would be $500. So that's just in case. A lot of stuff on the charts. These vertical purple bars, these are it's a new indicator I put together using Copilot to help me code it in PineScript. Anyways, it's highlighting the last 10 minutes and first 10 minutes of every hour, which ICT says he uses macros that occur in those hours. My understanding is not every hour. The macro is not running all the time, but occasionally it does happen, and he uses them when there are no news events to drive, I guess, price action. But my understanding is when the macro is running and you see it happen in these windows, which is like a 20-minute window, it can be really obvious, especially if it's like a PD array. So, I mean, just real quick here's an example. If you subscribe to that idea, order block support ran. I mean, pretty simple. I back tested a little bit of this over the weekend. Fell asleep once or twice just watching replay. I tried to watch 30 days of replay on the 1 minute time frame, and it's not bad, especially if you have something like this. The amount of times a PD array proved, what would you call it, true, I guess, inside these windows was pretty impressive. At the very least, an added confluence. Like, hey, I've got these two other things happening that I like, and oh, here's some nice structure happening in the macro window. But there's other windows where it's just nothing's happening. It's sideways, or it happens. A reversal might happen late. It doesn't really tie into anything else that's going on. So, anyways, that's why that's on there today. New stuff on the charts. Probably just gonna get busier and busier. Probably not good. Because of this visit to the hourly bearish fair value gap and this retest of an older first presented fair value gap, shorts here, I would like going short here, but I really like get it here. And a couple of reasons. One, I think it could come all the way back up here, or even visit this old fair value gap, which I don't know if you guys can see it very well on your screens, but it's this red first presented 930 fair value gap. I don't think we got filled right there. We're like one tick above our limit, and it didn't fill. Coffee. The idea here is that since price did not come all the way down here and tag this yet, that it may still do that before resuming higher if it's going to resume higher. And that's about all I have right now going on. I may just do a market entry to get this sell. For 20 seconds. This kind of feels important based on displacement over here. No. If we can get back to break even. Okay. What I'm thinking is it's possible that this is the pullback, and there may not be one more trip down to actually tag this level before going higher. But also what this reminds me of, especially if we keep seeing this, is that, you know, we're about to see a pretty big drop. I actually like that, but I wish I could just do it on micros here, not have to switch. Micros. Give me cute. We're gonna go short, and we're gonna keep drawing. Yep. And I take one more here. Actually, safety net. That would be a sell limit up here. The idea being this is the last line of defense. And if it goes higher, I can at least average down somewhat and get out of it with less damage, less heat. Excuse me, that's my office chair, I promise. Got a pretty small office. Okay, so there's some set it and forget it. Field there, that'd be 75. Which means this would need to that's more of an amount than a target. Let's redraw some of the stuff we did on InQ here on our micros. That would be a good target. Most likely you're gonna drop down to here. Possibly all the way down to the first presented fair value gap. I need to check those settings. Maybe punch them up just a little bit so we can see them better. I think that's everything. The overnight range, I hadn't even looked at this yet. Shame on me. The overnight range for Asia London was 457. That's huge. And we are actually, are we trading back into? There we go. So not only was it huge, we have now put in, this is wild, 732. Like this is, yeah. This is a huge day. Like if I remember right, I need to go back and figure all these out, but a daily range over 500 points doesn't happen very often in a year. We have almost 6 minutes left in this 15-minute candle. So for us to be at 719 point range for the day, it's really hard for me to believe we're going higher. And I'm pretty sure I've said something like that, and then it goes another 100 points higher. Like, who knows, but doing the best I can with what I have. So we got filled, we averaged down. We're now break even. And I'm not interested in another trip up here. I'm going to start reducing my risk, because if this structure is happening how I think it's happening, we didn't come up here and sweep any of this. we are good for at least a 50% retrace. And I like putting it up a little short. Short of the goal, I mean, because price doesn't always. Sometimes it'll come right down to that 50 and stop short. Or it'll one tick on that 50 and you won't get your fill. You won't get closed out. Just down a little more. I don't usually trade micros, but really, for the purpose of the stream, just want to be able to hold the position longer in these conditions. It would be great to see this displacement up get mirrored here going down. That kind of tells me whatever's happening in this area is significant. They want price to either be above it or below it and not in it, if that makes sense. And I don't even know how to explain how, how that's, why that happens. Oh, because institutions, blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't know. All right, we have 30 seconds left in this candle. Now I'd like to see the real move, which I hope is continuation down. If I get this displacement down on this side, I'm going to move my stop down to break even. And if we don't displace through here 30 seconds into this candle, I'm going to close this. And that's probably really small for you guys. I'm sorry about that. I'm using a desktop screen, so like 20 something inches. All right, 30 seconds in, I'm moving my stop down. Yeah. So it may not be ready. It may not even want to do it. But the trade idea here is then a tag at the 50 and then maybe bounce. Let's see what we got. What are we looking at? $147,307 and we are up $35. Okay. As much as I don't believe it could happen. I'm going to buy stop up here. Looking at this fair value gap. There's magnets. Try to keep it all clean. couple of mohawks right here per ICT, he'd probably allow this. Treating it as not yet mitigated, this fair value gap. My guess is that if price is going to go higher at this point, it's going to be displacement. Like, you know, from here all the way through here, maybe. At least to here, 6 handles, 6 points, 14 points. $700. I'll check notes. I'm posting some comments in that we have a small Discord, and I was posting about the overnight range being 475 points wide, Asia London, and then the low to now being over 700. Range this large only happens a few times per year. So, kind of makes me wonder, like, are we gassed out? We had some more drawings over on NQ. Let's take a look. Double check some things. Still in the hourly. This is not ideal, having multiple positions on multiple contracts. There we go, 510. Close this, ignore those. For me, this is the tricky part. Because if I stay, let's do this. I stop. what I really want to see here now is an energetic move up. And it looks like we just got filled on micros. Back and forth here. Yeah, I just didn't have that high enough. I'm going to close this. Right here. That'll be 85. 85 short. Seven seconds left. I like that early push down. I say early, early in the this new 1 minute candle we're working on. That's why I have the timers down here, and they're red during the first 30 minutes, or the first. I mean, based on the time frame, I'll say it like this: they're red during the first half of the candle, and turn to green during the last half of the candle. We're 6 seconds left. Look at that push up. 1 second left. Yeah, it's like they're waiting. Price is waiting. I don't know if there's a they, but as much as I can't believe it, since we're already 700 points range for the day, 700 points up from the overnight low, I think maybe there's still some upside here. So keep my stops in place. And I'm pretty sure we didn't get filled yet because I had it high enough. Yeah. A few more of these wick heavy candles, and our conditions down here are going to turn from yellow to red, which is not ideal. And I think we're just about to start the lunch session kill zone. Yep. Correct. You can't see the text probably on your end, but that's the January 30th first presented fair value gap. $42 left. I'd like to see this candle kind of just hang out here in limbo, and then the next candle displays through. This is not ideal. It just needs to keep going. Like, I don't want to see it come up. I don't want to see this. There we go. Moving stop down. Push. And I don't want to see the price come back up into this brown candle, especially not any more than that wick. So we'll at least keep 95 of that. So now we're back. This is not the push I wanted. I wanted all the way down here. Kind of frustrating. So we basically just are back to being up $35, $25, whatever it is. Wiped out that loss. That's good. We can keep trading. Zero stress. So if you're considering this as a barrier, and price has come back up to it once, twice, and this one couldn't even make a higher high. This may be the top, and this could be a reversal formation, even though those mohawks are a little bigger than probably somebody might like. Just don't know if I'll be able to get in to a short with value. Or what do you call it? Discount. We'll do a safety net here. That is not what I wanted. No, limit. Targeting this previous candle body low, not the wick, but the candle body. We have 13 seconds left. I don't want to see any kind of pullback. I'm going to go ahead and keep 240. Hopefully that was 240. We'll see what it was. 210. And then we're going to wait and see what this next candle does. I don't want to see wishy-washy stuff. Oh, did we just get... We're just going to take small bites. I don't want to see wicks. We're 30 seconds in. I'm going to move this. Break even. Because of the real move, if it exists, is going to be further down. I want it to be further down. the real move for this candle. Here we go. And we did not get filled. Tell me we got filled. Got it. Okay. We started at 307 and we're at 669. That's 300, 350 for the day. I'm going to call that good. Where's our little lockout? Don't we have a... I thought I had like a lock and key or whatever. I don't know. We'll just type it. If this were a eval or paid account, I would lock it for the day. Lock account for the day. And I just realized I don't have executions on. There you go. And who knows? Maybe we'll get these targets. But I'm not sticking around to find out. This guy right here could have held to this probably. Held your short all the way down to here. Quick scalp long, but you know, I'm like real quick. 50 bucks, 100 bucks. But after, yeah, after this, Asia down to London, 456 points. And then from the low, overnight low to today's high is 732 points. It's hard. It's hard to convince me that it's going to go much higher if it does go higher. What I would expect is not even sideways. I would expect lower. And this could be one of those days where later today, it was at 4 p.m. Everybody starts posting on Twitter about their zero DTE SPX, where they shorted right here and got all the way back down to, I mean, it'd be on SPX, not on the NQ chart, but oh, I need to close some stuff before we walk away. Ah, there's that lower target, and if you take the quick long, that worked out. It's a good day, man. Price action's kind of vibing with it. This could be your short right here. Remember, I'm locked out. This is just for fun. You do your short right here, then target this again. You could do 2. You could do 3. Close that, and then scale out. 1 there. 1 there. I don't know why these are showing 3s. There we go. And then the Mamma Jamma. Actually, you know what would happen probably, since this is a reliable order block, I would say my last one would be here. But if you're really greedy, it's probably somewhere down here, or maybe right in here because of this pocket. But for me, I just target that. Yeah, we'll let this run for a bit, see what happens. I'm gonna go on mute, go fix some breakfast, not breakfast, lunch. Maybe pump up the tunes a little bit. If I still have them in here. Yep, and I'll be back in a bit.